Guys, welcome to Gusto Reactions. Once again, thank you so much for always liking and sharing, of course subscribing to everything that we do right here at Gusto TV. We love you and appreciate every one of you. Lala is very much right here today, and we've got the Machala one in the building. Wizkid, Big Wiz, Big Sound, Big everything. Wizkid is the most talked about artist right now in the scene, on the scene. Right from Ghana to Lagos to Abuja, everywhere. Big Wiz, Big Wiz, Big Wiz. Everybody falling in, Pokoli with the hype, and everyone getting to know exactly that. There's someone in Lagos, and it seems every other artist have gone to bed.
Well, the thing about a scarce commodity is when you finally show
yourself.
I mean, everybody wants a piece of you, and people who thought they were running things, all of them just back inside. I mean, Wiz, we've not seen much of him in Nigeria for a long time, so it's been a long time coming. And the effect that it's having is very massive.
I mean, very massive. Going to the clubs, vibing to Davido's song on the jet at the club as well, vibing. Davido also doing his own thing as well. These two guys have been major alongside Burna Boy. Their impact now, before Wizkid came on board, we had the likes of Tubaba, The Banj, Don Jazzy, P Square. When these guys were at the top of their game, even MI as well, did you ever believe that another guy was going to come onto the scene that would last up to 10 years in the game and still going strong?
Well, I may not have thought about it, but then I think it's just natural that, there's always going to be someone who comes around, sweeps everybody off the streets, and if they are consistent, they rule or do things for a long time. If you had asked me maybe 10 years ago, did I see Wizkid or David
ruling for 10 years?
For straight 10 years, I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't even have the foresight to think about it, because in my own generation, it's unheard of. It's something that has not happened in a while, in a long time. There's usually someone who comes up and then goes down, someone comes up, another one comes up. There are several artists who started before Wiz, until today they are still making music, but they're not at that level. They're not playing at that big level. So, which is why sometimes when you now talk about these guys, you talk about them in a sense of the way, as being aliens to the industry, people who are doing things that nobody else. You can't say, oh, this person definitely will do it. That's good for them. I wouldn't have thought that they would have gone 10 years.
Because an interview of Wizkid with Factory 78 in 2011 was saying, I want to do music to the point of in the next 10 years I want to be able to look at an upcoming artist and say, you know what, this is Wiz, I'm still here and everything. You do your thing, I'm like,
So that means
so basically he had the foresight, prophesying his win, or prophesying the fact that his longevity was going to be that long and everything. And Wizkid, for all we know, has maintained that position at the moment. He said he was going to be around for 10 years or more, and he is still around. Not just around, but at the very top. Now that brought about a tweet from someone who was trying to hail himself and Davido, saying, the impact of Wizkid, Davido and Wizkid, in the Nigerian music industry, of course, will not be appreciated as much until they both fade off. The rivalry, the competition, the fan base, the consistency, the dominance, popularity, winning awards all over the globe will be hard to replicate. Wizkid and Davido, shout out to these guys, they've done massively well. It's a case of Ronaldo and Messi. Starboy, Big Wiz, the impact this guy has created in the industry covers almost everything. How will life be after post Wizkid?
Well, in football terms, Wizkid, Davido, that's what they call generational talents. So they are generational talents, and they've ruled their generation time and time and again for over a decade. How would life be? You can't never say never, but I think we're already seeing a bunch of new crop of artists come on board.
To come up from Wizkid?
No, it'll take them time, but I think those guys have what it takes to be there for a while. in terms of his fan base, you know, he started young.
Yeah.
And the guys who he started young with, guys from his age group,
they've grown with him.
And then the teenagers, they've all grown with him. But now we have a new generation of music listeners.
Okay.
And those guys are vibing towards a younger generation of artists. They are not vibing towards the majority of these guys. If they're going to be honest, they are vibing to newer generation of artists, and those are going to be the people who are going to be driving this Nigerian music industry in the next, let's say, decade. It won't be us. We will be the one to employ them. These guys will be the one to push them. But they will be the one to drive, and they will own that new set of fan base. We will now start becoming our own fathers. That now that used to listen to them was
old school. So Wizkid will become old school music.
That
year when we're listening to music to Wizkid.
No daily back then. Share all this one that you are listening. Is this song? I mean, that time will come, and there will be new people on the block, new kids. Perhaps maybe those kids are even born this year or last year. But give it time.
Why are you not giving props to the likes of Joe Boy, Oxlade, and everything? No, you don't think those guys will take over from this?
No, it's a lot of work, right? I already said those new generation guys, they have their fan base is very young, and they are core, right? And they are doing their thing. They are pushing a new generation, a new sort of music out, not the kind of music that we grew up with, right? They're coming up with new sounds every single time.
Yeah.
That's the next generation, all fine and good. But would they be the one to be the? Can we say any of them is a generational talent right now? If you can choose one, maybe we'll now come and mark our script 10 years later. This person will come still available.
Yeah. Because looking at the tweet, actually, you know, a lot of points, you know, on those tweets, you know, on that tweet rather, you know, say something about it will be hard to match them in terms of, you know, the rivalry. Who are we going to get? What rivalry is going to be as hot?
So, is this new generation is there any rivalry?
Can they match a Wizkid?
This they are soft. They are already.
Wizkid's fan base, Wizkid's consistency, Wizkid's dominance, his popularity. No, I mean, we would even come to the video, but let's just go at Wizkid's popularity, Wizkid's winning awards all over the globe. Now, is all of these things for Wizkid going to be hard to replicate by anybody?
Of course. Now look at everything. Let's start from the rivalry.
But is it possible?
Is it possible for someone to replicate?
Yes.
Of course it's possible.
For 10 years?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay, let's look at the point.
It's possible and more. The rivalry.
Yeah.
I've not seen any sort of rivalry with any of these young guys.
Yeah.
They are going the software of everybody is.
We're cool.
Which is fine, all fine and good, but the time will come.
Competition. Nah.
Rivalry competition.
Yeah.
Fan base. Who has the craziest fan base of all these young cats right now? Omale can boast of having a big fan base in and outside Nigeria. Same for Joe Boy.
Yeah.
Same for, I don't want to say Lakon, but I don't know.
Icons. Yeah.
Icons, they are big due to the what's it called, the reality TV show. Now that there's a new season coming up, is he going to retain them?
I don't know.
Consistency. Who has been consistent?
No.
Fireboy,
Omale
has been consistent.
Yeah.
Joe Boy has been consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, popularity. Well, they've not broken grounds in terms of popularity among the older audience. I don't think it's a requirement anyway, but it's part of it. Wizkid also, I mean, at this time, Ola Joe Boy and Bakurumo, he covered the whole range of fan
demographics. Yes, winning awards.
I won't say it's not impossible to do. It's possible, very possible to do.
Very, very possible. Do you think it will be done? Someone matching all of this life after Wizkid, when the whole big WIZ thing, because everything that has a beginning surely have an end. But when the whole Wizkid thing fades off, who and is it really possible to replicate what he would have done?
So look at the way the young generation are churning out music, right? We've seen Omale drop 2 EPs, right? We've seen Fireboy drop 2 albums, and he's going to drop another album again this year, right? That's in 3 years. We're seeing Rema dropping EPs. He's about to drop an album. So in terms of consistency, they are there. In terms of fan base, you can argue that they are there as well, because they're not only getting fans in Nigeria, they're also getting outside of Nigeria. So
Lala, in 2012, a year after Wizkid dropped, Wizkid won the BET International Award, like for Africa. Wizkid actually won that award a year after dropping Made in Lagos. That's massive. What Wizkid has done. So I'm here sitting down and I'm thinking what the guy has really achieved. I mean, shout out to every of this new cat, right now. But really,
it's true. It's true. Times are different.
Yeah.
Times are different, and competition at that time, there's really no one doing like WIZ. To be honest.
Okay. But
WIZ,
that's not downplaying his talent, though.
No, that's not.
And at that time, the streaming thing of people throwing numbers here and there and everything wasn't the in thing.
And then the what's it called? The distribution of the music. It was still.
Uber Pacific.
It was hard.
Trust me, that
for
album.
For him to go viral.
Yeah.
On that album.
Shout out to WIZ.
There was the iTunes. Then was not really as big.
Nah, there was no Apple Music.
Oh, exactly.
Nothing.
What was all these things? YouTube.
Nothing.
How many views you get on YouTube?
Telling you.
Able to win
the BET.
And at that time, it was still the new category of that category.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yes.
Kudos to Wizkid. Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes, right?
but if you don't ask me to tip any of these young cats,
you don't know who you're gonna tip. Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it at that, guys. We would like to hear your thoughts on, of course, everything that Wizkid has done in the last 10 years, from the awards to the music to everything. I mean, we know, WIZ as someone who, this album, mad, Ayo album, mad, Soundman. This is sound from the other side, mad as well. There's Soundman, mad, Made in Lagos as well. This guy consistently has not just dropped the music, but he's done the awards, the dominance, everything. The days of no social media, he was there, or less of social media, he was there.
Less. Twitter was buzzing then.
It was buzzing, but but it was more like a startup of the whole thing that time. Now, you understand? And it wasn't as consistent as this. But of course, shout out to WIZ. Guys, let's have your thoughts on Wizkid, Big WIZ, of course, coming with the big sound. What exactly would life be after Wizkid? Would anybody be able to replicate what Starboy has done in the last 10 years? Covers everything: the competition, the rivalry, dominance, popularity, everything. Let's put a comment down below, and of course we'll respond to some of your comment. The Wizkid impact, life after Wizkid, how exactly would it be, and who is going to be the next Wizkid? Let's have your thoughts. We'll see you on the other side. Peace.